Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday, and we are talking pregnancy with my friend Kurt Attaway. Kurt is a brand new dad. Thank you so much for joining me here today, Kurt.
Yeah. Oh, it's so
Um,
good to be with you, Anne.
yeah, thanks. So, why don't we start out by you telling us just a little bit about your family, your kids, and the ages of them, and all of that?
Yeah. So, my wife Lauren and I are proud parents. We have four kids with us here. And so we have a 10-year-old son, an 8-year-old daughter, a 4-year-old son, and a newborn who will be 11 weeks old. Our daughter will be 11 weeks old this Friday. And I say with us here because we've also experienced pregnancy loss. And so we've kind of, on our journey of seeing our family grow, have the joy of holding our kids, but we also know what it's like to have hopes that didn't fully form in the way we would have liked them to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have been through a lot in your parenting journey. How many?
Yeah.
How many miscarriages?
So we experienced three miscarriages, two of which were what are called ectopic pregnancies. And we are just now coming out into a season of a little more sleep and rest as our daughters hit 11 weeks, coming up on 11 weeks old. So you picked the right time to have me on with you, as I might be a little more fresh than a few weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah. That's great. 11 weeks is good. She's weighing enough to get herself through the night a little bit, huh?
That's right. That's right.
That's good. So, you have a lot of experience with pregnancy, period. And I'm
Yeah.
just going to ask you a few questions about your experiences as a father.
hmm
And and so here's my first question. What are some changes that you notice about Lauren between when she's pregnant and when she's not pregnant?
That's a good question. And I want to honor her in my answers and honor kind of the
Of
process
course.
because the thing that I would say about pregnancy that's unique from a dad's perspective and even from a is just what a demanding, fully engaged moment it is. There is never a moment that she's not pregnant once she becomes pregnant. And so there is just a faithfulness in the journey of that that's demanding physically, mentally, emotionally. And so I think in that space, I would say what I see in my wife not pregnant, I just feel like I get a sharper, clearer view of her in her pregnancy. And the demand that it is on her. And so, I think as kind of the dad needs to be aware that there's a high level of fatigue because they're literally growing another human like all the time. And so fatigue is a part of it. But then I see this like care and this amazing capacity to think about details. I was thinking about that question, and what I would say that I see in Lauren and pregnancy is just the level of detail of care that she's giving thought to that I am not.
Yeah.
And so and it's everything. It's from start to finish how this child will be loved well and fed well and attended to. And there's just this amazing gift that I can see from a dad's point of view that the mom is literally the life source for this child, and that is not to be diminished or overlooked.
That is a really good point. And I don't think I've ever even thought about that in that way. But the person who's carrying the baby
Mhm.
is so finely attuned to every single detail, not only of the baby, but also just of the the life around that baby,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
remembering things that other people might not remember. And
yeah.
that's a really interesting point, and it really resonates true with my own experience as a
Mm,
mother. That's really
that's
neat.
cool.
Um, what would you say that she would say is the most valuable way that you supported her throughout her
Mm.
pregnancies?
Great question. I think I had to learn. So, like, if you're a first time dad, you just don't know things. And I didn't know things. When we were expecting our first, I was younger than I am now. And, life didn't stop. And I think I kind of un, unintended and unfortunately just kind of was like, oh, we're just going to keep on going like normal. So what I think we've learned over the years is that what's most helpful is to pick up as much extra as you can. Like try to see the world through her eyes and think about things that are important to her. And so whether it's doing the dishes more regularly, cooking more, things that require physical energy and mental capacity become very valuable gifts because again for Lauren what I think I learned is I need to be her greatest support and helper, and a lot of that's just around the day to day of life because maybe there were things pre-pregnancy that were part of kind of her rhythm, but honestly, especially as the pregnancy gets closer and closer to due date, the physical uh, experience shifts for her more than it did for me.
Hmm.
And so it's just a place to be attentive and aware. And so I think support is intangible acts of care and service, looking for ways to meet her needs practically through, hey, can I get you something? Is there things that you need? Can I take on some extra load? And you just got to talk about it because, all of our life continues to go and we're trying to figure out how we're going to do this new thing.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I just feel like being able to see the world through her eyes and things that she's really good about doing, figure out ways to try to pick up some of those tasks and
Yeah.
make choices intentionally.
Yeah. That's good. It's just kind of an awareness, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. So, so the newborn is 11 months old. So it's been, I mean, excuse me, 11 weeks
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
Not 11 months now.
It's felt like,
Yeah. But anyways, so you've had a little bit of time, but just can you think back to 3 months ago when you were in that week before delivery? What were some of
yeah.
the things that you felt? Not necessarily
Mhm.
what you were seeing her experience, but what did you and your thought processes? What were some
Yeah.
things that you felt?
Well, I think as dads, we need to give ourselves permission to recognize we are feeling things. I was excited. I felt a ton of joy. I felt unsure. I felt some like, do I have what it takes to like not sleep or to be helpful? And with our first pregnancy, I remember going to kind of a class and trying to learn some things and really trying to embrace, I want to be able to offer everything I can to my child, just in the same way that I know Lauren's heart was to offer everything she could. And so I think especially if you're a first time dad, there are things you just don't know. And it's kind of learning on the job and it's trial by crying and exhaustion. And so I think even with this most recent, I'm grateful to kind of be in a place to realize it is to be enjoyed and your newborn is to be enjoyed. And so I would just encourage you, if you're unsure, hold your child and learn how to become more sure in holding them and changing diapers and giving them eye contact, because it's amazing what happens when your child gives you eye contact back and you begin to think, wow, this is going to be great. And to have those moments of bonding through smiles and through different things going on. And so I just know I felt a lot of joy and expectation for what it was going to mean.
Mm-hmm.
And we had prayed for this child and we had hoped for this child. And it was just trying to do everything I could to be present and be ready. And I know that with welcoming our fourth, I was in a little bit of a different place than anticipating the first.
Right.
But I would just say to dads, hey, embrace the reality that you are feeling things. It is new. And it is important to be there. And it's important to connect with mom through the process. And it's important to connect with your child through the process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'll just say, because I know you guys, and I saw the pictures that
Yeah.
you posted of uh, Anderson when she
Mhm.
was born. I mean, she, it seems as if she came into the world with a smile on her face. I don't think I've ever seen a
Yeah.
newborn smile as consistently as she does. It's just very
Yeah.
interesting.
It, it has been so amazing and it's been surprising. And those are the surprises you hope for, right? Like,
Right, yeah.
but I think it is a space where we just get a glimpse of her from day one. And I think all of us get glimpses of our kids from the get go.
Hmm.
And we are so delighted in how much she smiles.
Right.
And, and I think you can help cultivate that by
Yeah.
giving as much smiles. Like we say of her, she smiles hard, and I would encourage dads and moms to learn how to smile really hard for your kids.
Yeah, like
She's
so
for sure
hard your
taught me
face
that.
gets tired.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's great. So, just as we wrap up, what do you have? Just a word of advice for a brand new dad, maybe a, a dad who or a partner who is expecting their first baby and they're
Yeah.
feeling kind of about it. Any words of advice? You've already given a lot of
Yeah.
good advice,
Oh
but
man.
one last thing.
I love that. Like if you're kind of feeling the uneasiness, that's really normal. Especially if you're doing anything for the first time, you won't be an expert in it yet. I will tell you this as a parent, you have the gift of knowing your child better than anybody else.
That's right.
And the more time you spend with them and the commitment you make as a dad to say, I'm going to know you, I'm going to share love and care for you, I'm going to be strong and gentle for you. I think that's an important quality that we need to recognize for moms and dads, is that we can be there and become a place of safety and care. And so dads, hold your baby when they're crying and let them know it's going to be okay. Hold your baby when they're smiling and experience the joy of that. Ask to hold your baby because, maybe mom wants to hold the baby too, but just initiate, because from day one, those connection moments will draw you closer. And I think sometimes I was afraid that I wouldn't bond as much with the
Mm-hmm.
baby right away. It might take longer. I would say we bond as quickly as we make ourselves available to. And that can be in those moments late at night, walking with them, telling them that they're special, that you love them. And it is a role that only you can fill. And so I would just say, fill that role with love and with consistency and with faithfulness. And it'll be a journey that changes you. And that's good.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Those are great words of
Yeah.
encouragement for our folks who are expecting babies soon. And for
Yeah.
those of you who are looking at this a little bit after the fact, we have lots and lots of stuff for you at Nurtured Noggins. I was just thinking of a blog post I have around what makes the attachment happen in the first few days and what newborns are
Mm,
born equipped to do to
mm,
create this attachment thing that Kurt is talking about. It's all there, and you innately have it just like they innately have it, and it's just a really beautiful thing that happens. And so I'll put a
yeah.
link to that in the comments for this post. Okay. So thanks so
That's
much,
great.
Kurt, and we will
Yeah.
see
Thank
you
you.
guys next time. Bye bye.
See ya.